I came to win.
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
STRO, I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a very loud and a sold-out Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
You ready? You ready?
Hands up! Lead! Here you go, can!
Double time! 4 down! Check! 4 down!
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And, whoa, he's going to hope that is not a sign of things to come. A rude welcoming to this ball game.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Here's Dalton. Going up top. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Check Mike 57.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
First down, Browns. Set, 180!
A first down throw for Mayfield. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Keep it up, guys.
Mayfield with it once more. David Johnson here on the catch. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone. Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
He may try, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Baker Mayfield scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Joseph now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to? Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower postgame. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Dalton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. He's going to air it out deep for Green. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
We got
from the gun, Mayfield. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
D, tighten up. Let's go, D, tighten up.
From the 36, Mayfield. He finds his man Johnson. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Tight dog.
Hurry!
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
20. Check 45 the mic. Blue down, blue down. Hurry.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard.
45.
Watch out.
45.
Regular. Watch out.
Here's Mayfield. Man open left side. It's his running back with it. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal?
Alert, 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 alert. Point it right. Watch out.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. George Kittle there to make the grab. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. No surprise there. Third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Following the interception, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hurry, hurry!
Mayfield looks to throw. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. To throw, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And again, it's Mayfield finding some room at midfield. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, 62 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Joe this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see
when the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Passing. It's Dalton. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Andy Dalton, he's going to air one out. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Derwin James with a pick. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Well, they were obviously backed up, had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it, and...
Yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Regular.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 18-yard line.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
2nd and 5 now. Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's into the clear. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return. And the Bengals are in for 6. Still down very big on the scoreboard, but a little feather in their cap here.
And it's a big-time play, and if you don't get energized after a kick return, well, then your team just doesn't have any spark. We'll find out if this is the start of a big comeback or just cosmetics as we go along.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Rip right, rip right.
They go play action. Mayfield. They'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Mayfield now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Mayfield on play action. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 16. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give the tackle there to Keon Crossan. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, alert 33.
Switch.
Mayfield down. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Check. Switch. Check 3. Check 90. Pistol.
They'll give it to Chubb. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
42, Bengals 7.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On 2nd and 9, Dalton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 from Bengals TV. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
The Browns on third down. How about this stat? A perfect 9 for 9 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Motion. Hey,
To throw again, Dalton. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Myles Garrett getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
180. 57. You go night-night. Don't go night-night.
A run for Nick Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Today's final
Well, one win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.
not a day in my life. Long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. brothers, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check.